Hello and welcome. It is Saturday, the 24th of June. Ascot, Royal Ascot, I should say. Not always been Royal Ascot on a Saturday. Sometimes it was Ascot Heath, but Royal Ascot Day 5. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you're all very, very well. We've reached the end of the week of Royal Ascot. Maybe of me, I don't know. I'll be glad of a 3-day break. It's been a lot of late nights. I know people have appreciated the effort, even if we haven't come out in glory so far. Albeit Friday was a much more positive day, so at least we got some some money back out the satchels on Friday. We've got a long way to go today if we're gonna come up ahead for the week, but we got a bit back and it got a little bit interesting, and we got down to the last race and a place in the last race, and all of this week's losses would have been forgotten. But Wellbank, he couldn't sustain his pacey challenge from about a furlong and a half out. So. As far as today goes, for the Royal Ascot staking plan, I've notched it down to 35 again. So a couple of reasons. One, because I've got a free bets video out for £10, and I kind of thought, well, if I do £35, I know people will be doing both, and I'm conscious about, people have got to make a choice and it's their money, but I'm conscious of people who are kind of trying to do everything. So I've notched the Ascot to 35, which means for the channel, the total for Ascot, the outlay will be 190, not the 200. So we had another day with us 35. If you added in the free bet stuff, which I won't do for stats, but for entirety, if you are doing that, it would make the whole of Ascot £200, if that makes sense. So we've got £35 of Ascot on here. If you want the other £10 on freebets.com, you need to go on their YouTube channel where I make videos for them on a Saturday. And then, addition to the £35, I've got a £10 bonus Lucky 31 for Saturday. So I was debating. I've gone for it. I mean, there's a lot of race meetings on today, and I've picked out. And there's a couple. I don't know if I've caught them early, like a bit late. There was a couple that were much bigger prices that have come in a little bit, but I'm still happy with the value in the bet. But if you want the bonus bet, then that'll be on the end as well. All right. So Friday, I think we came out 56 return for Ascot with 40 on. So we've got about £16 profit for Ascot, which I think then puts us for Ascot around about the minus £58 mark. So with today's going on, I work it out that we need to get £95 back from our Ascot bets from our £35. So we need to nearly treble it if we're going to make a profit. If we lose the whole lot, the worst case scenario for Ascot for following the channel is we got only back half of what we put on, which, considering some of the carnage earlier in the week, doesn't feel terrible. But clearly that massively eats into any profits, and it's not great if you're losing. Worst case scenario, we've got back half our money we put on for Ascot. And then we're looking for obviously a best case scenario. Key thing is we want to have a bit of fun. We want to at least have a chance of it. That's where we're at. So let me talk you through what happened on Friday. We started off here, and I've said it all week. Not all week, most of the week. In that straight for those sprints, those two just were too caught out on the wide. If you actually look, the best three jockeys won that race. I don't think the best three horses won the race in that 2:30. I think the best three jockeys won it. So Dettori, Moore and Buick, I think they all had savvy rides. So Dettori had the best line. He just literally could go straight with his horse up there. Buick came in, Moore came in from stall 1 and hooked himself in on the pace, but basically gave himself the best bit of running track, which is a savvy thing to do. And Buick had a terrible draw, but managed to get himself over, finishing fast at the same bit of ground to finish third. So nothing back there. We had a nice result in the 305. Shaquille, despite a bad start, came up in the same bit of ground and won. That was nice, 9-1 SP. Then we went on to the 340. And again, I've said it, I have said this all week, being at the back and wide is not a bother, and Morcana showed you that. That horse never looked like it was going to get anywhere near. So Live Your Dream was the only one that ran up with the pace that stayed there, and that got a place for us too. Lucanda, it couldn't get over its draw really, but Morcana, yeah, nice swing back, and the jockey really did us credit there. He pushed that horse to the line, and as much as we've had many a scenario where we've lost a horse that the jockey's not gone for it, the jockey really rode that right through the line and got us 5th place. So that was a really nice result, because that was the value pick of the day. That was a non-runner. And then we went into the 5 o'clock thinking, all right, we got one result coming up. Can we get a second in here? Sort of did, but just didn't quite get the right combos for some of it. No good, unless placed, which was nice. Bellafinia and Choicia went up with the pace and faded, and then as advertised, Hayley Turner on a 7 to 1 mile straight run at Ascot on these 3-year-olds, cracking record, and she got Balalaika to place at 66s. Didn't put it in any accumulates for the channel, but there you go. So Dubai Mile, no, and then we went on the last race, and we needed something in there just to push us up a little bit, and we completely struck out. We didn't really get anywhere near on that. I think Rocket Rodney was 10th, was the closest. So we went into that last race in a good position, but it would have been really nice to have finished it off well, but there we go. All right, and then we had a winner and nothing to go with it there. The lucky 15 is what got us some money back. So we had 9 to 1 winner, 25 to 1 place, 14 to 1 place. I'm very conscious for a lot of people, if you were getting best price guaranteed or put them on in the morning, if you got 33s or 18s, you'd have come out a lot better than the channel. It's decent. And then Wowbank couldn't oblige in the last, unfortunately. And then we didn't have much here. The combination bet, we started with a place, but I didn't get the right ones in that one, and the 6-10 struck out anyway. And then in the 6-fold ACCA, we'd lost on the first leg, but we had a win, a place, a win, a nothing, and a win. So we had three winners and a place on there. So we had 4 out of 6 legs. And then the bonus bet was a bit back, but not profit. So that ended up being non-runner. That ran a nice race and placed 14s was the SP. Channel was 20s of 10p rule 4. That went down to 15 runners. So there was a couple of bookmakers. I think 365 would have paid it out if you put it on early. So some of you would have got a place double there with a non-runner. For the channel, that class as a loser, and Chilean was a loser. So all in all, that's that. Okay, let me get through this Saturday stuff for us. Okay, bit like Friday, there's slightly less singles than I've done earlier in the week, and that's because some of the field sizes are a bit smaller. So here is how we're starting with our singles rundown. 2:30 Neomonte 20 to 1, Snellen 11 to 1. So we're going for 2 horses that have ran once, won once. So 250p each way singles on those. Then the 305, it's a funny amount. It just worked out where I've done the other bet, so I apologise for those people who don't like fiddly amounts. But we've got in the 305 the Antarctic and Olivia Meralda, both at 95p wins. So that's 95p wins. And then Car Shamar 12 to 1, 50p each way single. Then in the 340, we've got Elsa Hale and Big Invasion at 14s. And the 420, I know it's gone down to 7 runner, but I think it's worth chancing that outside on a big price, because it's not as far away as the betting would suggest. Ardecan at 33s, so they're all 50p each way singles. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, I've probably written in an overly complicated way, but those two are 95p win singles. Everything else on this page is a 50p each way single. Okie doke. That's that. Then the other page singles, slightly differing amounts. So we're back on the 60p's with these ones. So we've got in the 5 o'clock, 4 against the field. Mr. Wagyu, we took it last time. It flopped. Pretty much that horse is usually consistent. So 16s is a good price. And there was some chatter in the comments afterwards. So we're keeping faith with Mr. Wagyu, definitely. First folio, you can get 40s in places at the time I noticed this video actually, but it does vary a bit. So 25s, Kate Moss 28s, Hurricane Ivor 33s. But bear in mind, these are illustrative prices. So for everything I'm doing on the channel for Royal Ascot this week, I'm taking SP. And that would be my advice to you also. If you've got best price guaranteed, brilliant, do that. But if you're betting, particularly if you're betting with Sky Bet, take the SP. Overall, you'll be better off for that. But what I've got in that 5 o'clock, I've basically got 4 horses that I like. One on the lower side of the draw, the others on the high. I'm stacking on the high, but wanted to make sure we had at least one in the other way. Then the 535 Have Secret. I think that's the most progressive looking in there. I just don't like the draw. It's got an inside draw, and that's I've obviously been talking about that this week. We've got Coco Jack at 33s, Burdett Road at 25s, and Local Dynasty at 16s. Coco Jack, Local Dynasty, they have got the widest draw pretty much. 610 Coltor, I've taught that up on freebets.com. It's an absolute punter, really, because on bare form, no one's looking at that horse. And you could have got hundreds last night and 80s in places. And now you're struggling to find bookies that are going to get 50s on that one. So it's come in a little bit because it was just overpriced. I still think 50s is a nice bet on that Coltor. So 9 times 60p each way singles on the second page of singles there. Then we're into the combo bet. So we've got 5. We've got Win Trixie, each way Trixie, Lucky 15 and a combo bet. And the ACCA. So each way Trixie, 305 Karshamar 12s, 340 Big Invasion 14s, 420 Ardican 33s, 25p each way Trixie. So each way doubles and trebles on those 3. We've then got a Win Trixie, and it's a 70 pence Win Trixie. So we've got 305 Olivia Meralda 11 to 2, 423 Wind 11 to 10, and 610 Stratum 100 to 30. 70p Win Trixie. Then these are the ones. If we land one of these two, we'll be happy for the week, I think. So the lucky 15 for the day is the 340 Alsa Hale, the 5 o'clock Mr. Wagyu, the 535 Local Dynasty, and the 610 Coltor. That is the lucky 15 of the day. So we are going to ride it out to the Queen Alexandra, which is normally a race that's not. I don't understand why it's the last race, because it's. I think you want a more exciting race to finish off a festival, but there you go. And then combo doubles, we've got 3 in each of the 2 handicaps. So 9 times 25p each way doubles. 5 o'clock, First Folio, Cape Moss, Hurricane Ivor. So we've basically got 1 on the low, 2 on the high on that side, all with form I like. 535, we've got Coco Jack, Burdett Road, Have Secret. So I'm spreading it there because we've got a high draw, a horse that's more likely to go up with the pace, and a horse that I think has got progressive form but got not a great draw. So 9 times 25p each way doubles. That is 450 is the bet. And then the 6-fold ACCA. So bear in mind, I've got one on freebets.com. So there are, if you are following everything I'm doing today, there are 2 6-fold ACCAs if you want them, with different horses in. So how exciting is that? Let me just checking this on my. Yeah, I realised I haven't done what I usually do and write out all the permutations. I'll do that in a sec. 50p each way 6-fold ACCA to finish off Ascot. 230 Pearls and Rubies, 305 the Antarctic, 340 Artorias, 423 Wind. So we've basically got 4 short ones there. So the plan is, can we get the 4 short ones placed to get down to a finale of 5 o'clock Hurricane Ivor at 33s and 5:35 Coco Jack at 33s? That's the plan, to see if we can finish off with a hurrah. We will see. As far as place terms on Ascot, I didn't write it out. I was a little bit time poor. Had a lot to do today. 230. Watch out on that one. There's a lot of bookies got promotions. So at Sky, for instance, are only 3 places. What you want is 365, Coral, Betfred, Hills, or Betway. I've said Betway because I know there's a few Betway followers in the chat. So those 5 are the best bookmakers for the 230 of the bigger ones. 365, Coral, Betfred, Hills, and Betway. In the 305, Sky are 5, everyone else is 4. 340, Sky are 5, along with Paddy and 365. So that 340, Paddy and 365 are best because you'll get best price guaranteed. 420 standard terms. 5 o'clock Sky stand out, 8 places on the Wokingham. Everyone else is 6 pretty much. So Sky wins out massively on that one. The 535, Sky are 6, 5 everywhere else, and 610 standard place terms. That is that. And then if you want the bonus bet, the final bet of the week and the weekend, because I am not doing any tips for Sunday, is this 505 Down Royale Virtual Hug. outside of Ascot, that's my horse of the day. It was 50s and 66 in places this morning at points. I'm hoping I've caught it on a bad point, because just before I did the video, after I'd placed the channel bet, I could see it gone to 40s. So if you can get 40s, cracking. The channel's only got 33s. If whilst I'm doing this video there's been some price crash on it, I'll keep a watch out for that one, because I don't want to have a price that makes my bet a lot better. So I'll double check that after the video's uploaded. 509 Newmarket Temple Brewer 12s. Then we've got 3 later ones, 7:30 Limerick. It's a very competitive race, that, and I could have done all sorts with it. And what I've done is stuck with the one horse, and I'm sticking faith with Salt Whistle Bay, which we've backed it last time. It went from the front, and it looked decent, to be honest. And then you could have suggested, well, it went too hard and it faded. If you actually notice, the jockey dropped the whip, so he didn't have the same ability to urge the horse in at the end. So I'm keeping faith, because the back form is better on that horse, and it's got decent form at Limerick. So Salt Whistle Bay, 7:40 Haydock, Explorer's Way. That's one I've missed, unfortunately. 50s is what you could have got about 7:30 this morning. So I don't think there'll be much more price movement in there unless it's expected to go well. But it's got some Irish form that says that horse is a lot better than the market's on at the moment, and it's dropped a long way. But it is a really competitive race. So you could argue a case for a lot in there. So 50s I was delighted with. At 22s, I wouldn't want to go too much lower. And then finishing 8:40 Haydock, Young Fire at 14s. It's a 15 pence each way Lucky 31 and a 35p each way single on Virtual Hug, which makes it a £10 bet. Sky are best, only on one place term over 365. But those are definitely the best 2 bookies for the bet. Most bookies are 5 there. Sky are 4 there. I think that's the difference. That's the one. Sky are 4 there, and everyone else is 3. And then the other ones, most bookies are 4 there. And I want to say the 509, it might be that 365 might be 4. And it's that one or that one, the 365 are the same as Sky, and they're one bet than everybody else. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you'll appreciate. I can't remember every single thing that's knocking about in my head. My brain is pretty fast, and it retains a lot of stuff. It also says the wrong thing verbally sometimes that it doesn't want to say. So it's got some good sides and downsides to my brain. All right. Thank you very much for everyone who has joined me this week at Royal Ascot. I hope you have had some fun, despite the fact that we got heavy losses on the first 3 days. Let's hope we can finish with a flourish. But we're never owed, are we? We're never owed. Possibly we're due by the end of this week. I think we might be due. So we will see how we get on. That is that. I will be back on Tuesday night. So no selections from me from Sunday, Monday or Tuesday. I won't even be looking at the horses for tomorrow. It doesn't look like a great day at all. And 100% I'm just having a day off from doing any research. I'm having a day with the family and stuff. So yeah, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'll write a thing in the comments that says put your stuff here. But personally, I'm not looking at the horses on Sunday at all. So if anyone is, I shall do the usual gig, and you can sort of see what everyone else is doing in the comments. And then Monday and Tuesday, yeah, we'll see. But no videos until Tuesday night, and then should be a normal week. But I am going to try and attempt to catch up on a little bit of sleep, because it's been a bit late every night this week, like 2 o'clock in the morning every night this week, and then I've got to be up about 7 most days. So yeah, I'm slightly sleep deprived. I'm not asking for violence, by the way, because that it is what it is. I'd be doing a lot of the research anyway, but clearly the level of stuff I put in to do the videos and write everything out and check the prices and check the bookmakers, that does actually, particularly on a week like this, it takes me a lot more of my time than I would usually be spending if I was just literally doing my own bets for myself. Trying to actually get the time to get my own cash down on some of these things as well. Because as much as I don't make a living off of YouTube, I'd like to make a bit of cash from the bets I'm putting down. So I need to make sure I allow some level of time to do that as well. And sometimes it's important to have a life that's not involved in horse racing. All right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. for the most part. And I'll see you Tuesday night. Bye bye.